Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure diorama review. Today, we're going to be looking at the Extreme Sets Police Station pop-up diorama. This is going to be great for your 6 and 7 inch action figure collection. It's labeled as the 1/12 scale. All the figures shown right now are 7 inch scale, so it'll work with some of the smaller 6 inch stuff and the larger 7 inch stuff. I'm a huge Batman fan and collector, and you can't have a Batman collection without your police department, the Gotham City Police Department, the GCPD. I'm going to get a lot of mileage out of this set. Here it is with a bunch of detective and police type figures in it in my Gotham City Batman world. So, let's see how we got to this point. So here's this huge, heavy box all the Extreme Sets came in today. You can see the box actually split open, and there's another box inside. It is also split open, the packaging material is sticking out. I really hope these Extreme Sets aren't damaged or beat up. The fact that they're cardboard, if they're damaged at all, there's no fixing them. And here are all these Extreme Sets out of the box. Huge haul of Extreme Sets today. Okay, so here's how the police station looks in the box. You can see it's got a nice police badge here, police station pop-up. A little example of what it's going to look like inside. Blank on the top, blank on the sides. On the back it says Extreme Sets, and there is a barcode. Alright, now that we got the contents out of the box, here's everything laid out. It looks like we've got a bunch of wall pieces on the top left, the floor pieces on the top right, a bunch of miscellaneous pieces in the center, looking like maybe a desk, some file cabinets, and some more stuff. And then we've got the instruction paper. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is check out the instructions. It's got a checklist of everything that should be included. And it says to start out with the drawers and filing cabinets. So I guess I'll start out with that and then build the wall next. It does say assemble as you wish, meaning the set has a bunch of different display options. I'm going to try to go for the way it's pictured at the Extreme Sets website. So here are the 3 pieces of the filing cabinet. The first piece is labeled filing cabinet support, and I'm hoping that's going to create it to be more stable than some of the previous pieces. Then we've got the drawer and the actual filing cabinet. First off, let's assemble the drawer. Flip this thing upside down, crease each fold and crease it very strongly. Continue to do so, crease them all inward. It will help you. The stronger you crease it, the better it's going to stay in the long run. Now that I've pre-creased everything, next step is to assemble the drawer. Take these side parts, fold them upright. They don't really connect quite yet. You'll take this part, fold it in, and you can sort of see this tab here. It's going to insert into the slot down there. Then you'll end up with a box like this. We've got the drawer. It's actually staying together very nicely. Now we'll take the main part of the filing cabinet. It's completely flat. Sort of pop it open and fold it against the way it was folded. Once again, the better you crease it, the better off you'll be. Fold all the tabs inward. Pre-crease everything. Now that everything's been pre-creased, it's pretty obvious what to do next. Take these tabs, fold them in, fold this one in, try to get it to lock into place. And there's the base. Now before you shut the top here, you'll take what's called the drawer support, punch a hole out in the middle, crease it downward, and then you'll simply insert this into here, do it with the front like so, and it'll go to the bottom to support the drawer. At this point, it should look like this. Now go ahead and shut the top. Now you'll want to insert the pre-assembled middle drawer. I will say it doesn't really lay flush, but it sort of functions, and that's kind of cool. You can pull it out, put stuff inside. Very nice, and it feels pretty stable. Now this thing comes with 2 desks. One is simply labeled desk, and one is labeled work desk. Here's the regular desk. This thing is completely flat right now. Pop it open, crease it against the way it was folded, and then fold all the tabs inward, pre-crease this thing. Now that we've got it pre-creased, it's pretty obvious what to do next. Put the tabs inward, and then fold these tabs in. Get it to lock into place. Now that I've got it assembled, here's how it will look. See the drawers on the front, the tabletop here. I had trouble getting one side to lock in. I was able to reach my hand in there, do what I had to do. The other one locked in just fine. I will say it'd be nice if this was actual cardboard here, so you could put a figure on a chair and slide them in. Now let's assemble the work desk. Instructions are a little bit confusing to the best that I can tell. You'll take this piece here, you will fold it so it's sort of an L shape. Then you'll take the table here and you'll slide it in here. They will lock into place. As you can see, one is longer, one is shorter for the different lengths of the sides of the table. Once fully assembled, it should look like this. You've got 4 different workstations. Now the first time I folded it, I did it the wrong way and had a big gap here in the middle. Luckily I was able to pull it out without really damaging anything. It looks pretty cool. You can see City at War, Wanted by the FBI, got some files, some pens, and you've got a 4-way workstation. Very cool, efficient way of making a work desk. Now let's look at the wall pieces. First one, you can see police records, pretty cool. According to the picture Extreme sets, that's going to go on the side. Then we've got the jail cell, that's going to be over here. Then we've got a police room, got a map of the city, all kind of stuff going on. The detailing is very nice. I really like the background pieces. Then you got another piece with a window cut out. That's going to be the right hand side. Then this piece here is the only one that's actually double-sided. You can see Commissioner of Police. It's going to lead to his office. That's going to be in the middle here with a functioning door, and it's going to lead to both sides. One piece I'm not really sure what to do with is this. I believe it's going to go behind the jail cell here. Not sure how that's going to be assembled, but let me start out with what I do know, which is going to be to put these 4 walls together. When doing that, make sure you pre-crease it. This side here, fold it very strong, and do the same thing with the tabs. So here's what I've got so far. We've got the 2 walls here, 2 back walls, and the centerpiece here. It has the doorway to the commissioner's office, so I guess from any point of view, the other side would be the commissioner's office. Still not sure what to do with this thing here. The instructions are very confusing. The instructions show this thing on the side here, but I don't think that makes any sense. The picture online shows this thing sort of behind here, almost simulating a cell, but it doesn't seem to connect in there, and I don't really think that's right. And the next step will be to attach the floor pieces. Got this floor, 3 segments, fold it up, unfold it, try to flatten it out, and put everything on top of it. So this is how it looks fully assembled. Got the floor underneath with the walls and the centerpiece. It's keeping the floor very flat and very flush, which is very nice. So let's add in the furniture. So now I added the work desk, the regular desk, and the file cabinet. I'm assuming this is sort of the commissioner's office, but I don't think it has to be. You do have the doorway leading to it. Overall, it looks great. This is going to be an excellent background diorama for my police action figures, except for the fact that I'm not really certain what to do with the back wall of the cell. This looks great. Of course, you don't have to assemble it this way. You could have the cell on the right hand side. You can do it pretty much any way you want, which is very nice. So let's go ahead and add in some police figures. So I went ahead and got out a bunch of police and detective type figures. These are all figures in the 7-inch scale. They're all from NECA, Diamond Select Toys, or DC Direct. We've got figures from Terminator, Sin City, DC Comics, X-Files, Halloween, and Gotham. They work great in a setting like this. Now let's take a closer look at this diorama. So on one side here, we've got the jail cell in the back. We've got a guy going into the police records room. All kind of police officers carrying files. We've got the 4-way desk in the middle here. This is pretty cool. The jail cell in the back. Definitely still have some confusion about how that's supposed to work, but it looks good for now, and it does have a back wall simulating a cell. Here we've got a guy going into the commissioner's office. He's holding a file, top secret. More police inside the commissioner's office. He's having a meeting with some other detectives. You can see the background. We've got a map of the city, some wanted people, nice details there. Got a guy going to the file cabinet, taking some stuff out. Do have this window that sort of goes into nowhere, a little bit odd there. But overall, this is a great diorama, especially for my specific purposes. Now let's check out some of the action features this diorama has to offer. As you can see, we've got Detective Hartigan. He's going to go into the police records room. These doors actually function and can open up. I don't really want to open them as a cardboard. It's going to sort of leave a permanent mark there. But you can fold it where it's perforated there. You could, in theory, open it up. But I think if I continue to open and shut it, it's going to be warped and not stay flush. And at the opposite side, we've got the same thing. We've got a functioning door that says Commissioner of Police. This door would also open and shut, but I don't really want to do that, as I think it will cause it to be not flush. Then we've got the cell in the back. As you can see on the bars here, I thought this door was going to open, but it's not cut at all. It's completely flat with the background. You could take the back wall, back it up a bit, put a guy sitting on a bench in there, and simulate a jail cell. Here's a couple of guys sitting on a bench in the holding cell. Or maybe they've got somebody dangerous like Hannibal Lecter waiting to be transported. And I know this isn't a prison, it's just a holding cell, but here's a few guys in some prison jumpsuits. We've got this officer in the back here. He's going through the filing cabinet, pulling some files out. The filing cabinet actually functions, that's pretty cool. You can pull the drawer shut, pull it back out, and you can store a whole bunch of stuff in there. It has some support underneath in case you make it really heavy. So pretty nice feature there. You've also got this open window here, and I must say I'm not very fond of this thing, as it sort of just leads to nowhere. Depending on what's behind there, you may or may not like the way it looks. I guess you could have an officer behind there, sort of working the counter, maybe a receptionist, etc. And you've got this work desk here, and it looks really nice, but what it needs is some chairs. Ah, much better. I took some office chairs I had, put them there. They scale perfect with this thing. I do understand not including some cardboard chairs, as I don't think that would work well at all. Here's a couple of officers sitting at the desk, getting some work done. Now let's check out the measurements of this thing. As far as how wide it is, it's sitting at about 37 inches wide. As far as the height goes, about 14 inches tall. And then the depth, sitting at about 19 inches deep. Now let's check this diorama out, compared with some police action figures and other action figures that are appropriate with a background like this. We're going to check out some action figures from different various companies to see how this thing fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can use with this. Here he is with some McFarlane police officers. The guy in the far left is a McFarlane figure, a sheriff from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and the other four figures are all Hopper from Stranger Things. I customized some of them into various police officers. And while we're on the subject of McFarlane Toys police officers, here's a figure from We Happy Few named Bobby. He looks kind of like an evil police officer. I like using this as sort of a Joker gang member that's infiltrating the police. And here's some McFarlane DC Multiverse GTO action figures. GTO stands for Gotham Terrorist Oppression Unit. These are made from a Jack Napier or Joker from the White Knight. Head swapped and made a bunch of custom GTO officers. In my action figure world, the GTO is sort of a specialized police unit to handle extreme situations. And here are some DST, or Diamond Select toys. From left to right, we've got Detective Hartigan from Sin City. We've got Gordon and Bullock from Gotham. And then we've got Mulder and Scully from the X-Files. They make for some good detectives. And here are some Diamond Select Battlestar Galactica figures. Back when there weren't a lot of options for 6 and 7 inch police officers, I made these. I got these Battlestar Galactica figures for pretty cheap, threw some different heads on them, and it had some guys in some sort of blue police type outfits. I use the female there for my 7-inch scale Montoya. And here are a couple of NECA figures. The guy on the left is from Splinter Cell, wears a bulletproof vest, so I thought he'd be a good plainclothes detective. And the guy on the right is Dr. Loomis from Halloween. Although not a detective or police officer, he definitely fits the part. And of course, NECA's Robocop works good in a police station diorama. And here are some NECA police officers. These are several different T-1000 figures from Terminator 2, both new and old. And here's my entire collection of NECA Terminator police officers, army building at its finest. Here are a bunch of custom-made SWAT figures based off the Arkham Origins video game. Most of these are made from wrestling figures, but there's some NECA and Diamond Select parts as well. And here are some wrestling Big Boss Man figures. These are from both Jakks Pacific and Mattel. And here's some Mattel Wrestling Create a Superstar Roman Reigns figures. These guys are in riot gear and have the riot shields, great for some SWAT. And here are some Resident Evil police type figures. We've got both Jill Valentine and Leon Kennedy. And here are some DC Direct and DC Collectibles Commissioner Gordon figures, perfect for the Commissioner's office. Here are some DC Direct Commissioner Gordon figures from Dark Victory. I head swapped a bunch of them for some more GCPD SWAT officers. Like I said, GCPD. And while we're on the subject of Commissioner Gordon figures, here's a Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods Commissioner Gordon. Here are a couple of Resident Evil zombie police officers and a tortured police officer for Reservoir Dogs. I use these for some police officer corpses or a tortured cop. Here are some John Constantine figures. These are from DC Direct, DC Collectibles, and Mattel. They work for a great private eye or detective. Then, here are some DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series police officers. We've got Bullock, Gordon, and Montoya. Here's some Plan B Toys Emergency Forces police officers. We've got some SWAT units, some K9 units, and some other similar type figures. Then, here are some Mafex Honor Guard Jokers turned into a few cops. Here are several different Mattel Movie Master police officer figures from the Dark Knight trilogy. We've got a couple of Commissioner Gordons, John Blake, and the Honor Guard Joker. And here are all of my Movie Master Dark Knight trilogy police officers, army building at its finest. Now we've got some smaller police type figures. On the left, we've got Mulder and Scully, and then we've got Agent Smith from The Matrix. All three of them are FBI agents. Then we've got Sam and Twitch from Spawn, a couple of police officers, and last, we've got Amy Pond from Doctor Who in her police outfit. Now let's look at a couple of police vehicles to transport those cops. Here's an old Playmates Dick Tracy police car, a little bit too small for the 6 and 7-inch figures. Here's some die-cast 1/12 scale police motorcycles I found for pretty cheap on eBay. These were pretty nice with the ultimate T-1000 motorcycle cop. Here are a couple of custom GCPD SWAT vans. These were customized out of a Mattel WWE Slambulance, and they are great for pretty much any scale figures, smaller 6-inch or larger 7-inch. And then, just because, here's the roof of my GCPD bookshelf, and here's the top shelf. So overall, this is a fantastic set. Extreme Sets made something that really piqued my interest. A police headquarters for my giant GCPD. As you can see, I'm addicted to buying police officers. I love army building, and it makes perfect sense in my Batman world at Gotham City. Unfortunately, this thing is so large, I'm not going to be able to keep it on display permanently. I was wondering if maybe I could take some of the pieces and put them into my police bookshelf in the background, but I don't really think that's going to work out. This thing's probably just going to get disassembled, put back in the box, and taken out as needed. It is a great set, and I see myself getting a lot of mileage out of this thing. If I were to rate this thing, I'd probably give it a strong 8 out of 10. It does have a couple of flaws, but I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this thing. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.